What's up, guys? So we're going to talk about Shakira's self-titled album Era at this moment in time, and pretty much what I felt like with this album was that, first of all, the album could have been massive. I just finished recording the Britney Jean Era video, talking about what could have happened and what the singles should have been, and I kind of feel the same way about that album as I do about this, as Shakira's self-titled, is that, you know, they were good albums. Like, if you just hand it off to somebody, a local person, and say, how do you feel about this album? They'd probably be like, okay, lots of bops, pretty cute. Like, it's a cute, fun album. For Shakira standards, when you're used to Laundry Service or Oral Fixation or She Wolf or, albums that were really, super iconic and super fresh and so many different types of sounds, and you get the self-titled album, which I felt like half the album was incredible. If you watch my review of that album, which I did years ago, half of the album to me was really super cool. You had different genres, the first 5 tracks, and then the rest of the songs were literally, they were just acoustic, boring, generic ass sounding songs, but you still had these massive songs that could have been huge. So we're gonna talk about what singles we would have chose. First of all, the number one problem I have with this era is that she kind of had the world at her disposal. She had a brand new label. I think she was with Rock Nation or whatever had happened. She transferred to a different label that was ready to pump in the money. And you could tell, she had all these sponsors. She was with T-Mobile, the T-Mobile commercials everywhere, like the toothpaste commercials all over the place, Target commercials. She was on The Voice. She was very ready for that America comeback, that America takeover. And you could tell because every time I turned on the TV, she was there. And so you already had her platform and you had her publicity really high. I felt like Shakira was left, right, up, down, center. Wherever you turn on the TV, whether you're watching a commercial, Target commercial, which was an awesome commercial, very red and promoting the album and that guitar. It was very cool, very flashy. She's doing Colgate, whatever toothpaste she was doing, so that commercial's on every other second. Turn on The Voice, which is huge, but even, was massive back then. I don't know how big, I don't really watch TV right now, but I know back then it was massive. So, she really had the world at her disposal. And, she gave us an album that was not so great, but at the end of the day, you could definitely pick better singles than that were chosen. So first of all, when she released Can't Remember to Forget You with Rihanna, I feel like that was not the best first single choice. Why? First of all, I love the song. I do love the song. But I felt like when you have two mega smash artists like this, first, how do I explain this? There's so many factors that go into why this was not a great lead single. Is that, 2013 going into 2014, radio was very heavy geared toward the dance sound. It was very dancey, it was very EDM, it was very vibey, it was just very upbeat, very fun, and very dance. The productions were more so EDM. Almost every single song was like that. Now, I'm not saying she had a trend chase at all, because I don't believe in just doing a song just because it goes along with the radio stations, but I felt like because, America's rating for your big comeback, you have Rihanna on the song, but I'm sure people were kind of expecting that song to be very dance, maybe dance hall. They're both kind of, they both have world music. They're not white girls from America, they're both, one's from Barbados, one is from Colombia. You got the dance hall flavor of Rihanna, you have the Arabic and the Spanish flavors of Shakira. Why would you not have a song that was more geared towards something like that, or something very big? I felt like if they did something EDM of the time, mix it up with the world sound that they can bring, and make something more original. I felt like, to me, Can't Remember to Forget You sounded like it was Shakira at first, and then they were like, oh, let's just throw Rihanna on it, as opposed to it being an authentic mix of what they could bring to the table. So first of all, I thought it was disappointing when you're kind of waiting for this Rihanna duet, and it's like, oh my god, what are we gonna get? And it kind of just felt like Rihanna tacked on to a Shakira song. I love the song itself, and I think that, I still love it now. I actually think it's, such a classic to me, and it's so fun, and I feel like in concert it'd be so fun, and all the locals know it. When that song came out, and I would play it on my CD player in the car, bringing my friends around, everyone knew it, everyone loved it. But I feel like we could have kept the song, even if we didn't mix it up and we did, it wasn't a EDM world sound type of song, and you just keep it the way it was. Should have been the second single. Why? So let's reverse. First single to me should have been Chasing Shadows. Chasing Shadows is actually, it's such a great song. I feel like every single Shakira fan, when they hear the album, that was kind of everyone's instant favorite. And it wasn't my instant favorite, but for some reason, every song that I don't initially cling on to is always a song that everyone wants as a single or everyone loves. So that kind of confirmed it for me. That should have been the first single. It was also written by Sia at the time, so I feel like Sia was really getting big. So that would have been a good cosign, Sia, brand new song. And it was very, it had that dance feel. It wasn't EDM, but it had like a dance, vibey type of sound that was kind of, it was good to go along with the radio while still being trend-setting. It was different than what was going on the radio, but still fit in. And it was very catchy. I feel like she could have made a cool, dark, aesthetic, gloomy kind of, I don't know, like something really dark and cool. Something, I don't know, just something very aesthetic for the first single music video. I think that would have been a great way to start the album era, and I think that would have been a big hit. Because Chasing Shadows is very instant, and that that whole sound, like that whole hook, I feel like would have been really, it would have been awesome. I think people would have really loved it as the first single. So then I feel like the second single, keep it, we could have kept Can't Remember to Forget You the way it was, and release it as the second single. Because when I felt like the first single hype and then the Rihanna, like, it's just so much that, like, you can't really reach up to it. So it's kind of like how Lady Gaga did. You did the first single, Stupid Love, cute, and then when the album came out, you now had a second single that could be way bigger because there's way more hype with it, you know what I mean? So I feel like once March rolled around, Chasing Shadows would have been a smasher the January, February, March. Now imagine Can't Remember to Forget You comes out, like, album release week, and they drop that beautiful lesbianic video that is so hot. I love that video so much, and I do love the song, I really do. And, drop it with the album release. They could have performed it somewhere, like the Billboard Awards or on The Voice or whatever, and done something really cool and something really epic. I mean, they didn't even promote it. They never performed it together. I thought that was weird as well. I think if they did a cool performance on The Voice or anywhere, and they kind of did, like, a remake of the video on a performance setting, I think that would have been really awesome. So I feel like Chasing Shadows, great first lead single. Second, make it the Rihanna duet, because, like I said, you can't do it later on, because now that the album's out, the Rihanna song is already out. It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's here and there, people are listening to it, but do it right before the album comes out so it doesn't leak, but people don't have it yet. So it would have been perfect second single. And then to me, after that, we would have already had two big hits. I really believe that if they had done it in that way, and she would have actually promoted more so, and maybe did some better performances, like Chasing Shadows, she could have performed that on the Grammys and started the album. She didn't even perform on the Grammys. Why would you not perform on the Grammys, girl? I'm just like, I was so lost on that. I think her kid was sick, right? Damn. Or was that El Dorado? Or was that both eras? Honestly, I don't know. She's always canceling. But I do know that if she had performed Chasing Shadows on the Grammys, that would have been such a good, like, kick-off to the era. It would have been huge. And then put that song in the background of the Target commercials, the toothpaste commercials. Bitch, it would have been fucking massive. And then right after that, you have a Rihanna duet. That would just be big based off the hype of it. Because I think it definitely was a hit. Everyone knows that song. Point blank, period. Everyone knows it. I don't care what the numbers were on the pop radio or on Hot 100. Culturally, people know that song. End the story. So I feel like those two would have been big hits. Now, the third single, gearing up towards summer, now she has that whole, what was it? It was the World Cup, right? So she released Dare La La La, the Brazil edition, which I feel like the Brazil edition I fucking love. I love those huge drums. It makes the song so much more exciting. I think, that song would have been huge in 2013 in America, but I feel like by the time 2014 summer came up, like, it was a big shift even from January 2014 to midway 2014. Midway 2014, like summer 2014, it was very, in America at least, rap and, trap was really starting to come out, and moody music was really trying to come out. Like, you had, like, Ray Shmurda and, like, Fetty Wap and, like, all that type of sound. So I feel like if releasing La 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 at that point would have felt a little counterproductive. So I do think, do it the way you did, have that music video, have that Brazil edition, have it being a streaming hit all around the world, kind of a world single, and with the World Cup, iconic. And then in America, at the same time, don't release that song on the radios. I don't think it would have done anything anyway, but I would have made the third single in America, You Don't Care About Me, because to me, again, it got that moody vibe that was kind of going around that summer, and it just had this very original sound, and it's very different for her as well, and I feel like it just felt like a radio smash. It felt like something people can relate to. I love You Don't Care About Me. I think that song is so fucking good. It just totally would have been a huge summer smash hit. I really, truly believe that was a really cool artistic video with it. Bitch, it would have snapped. And it feels like something you're just sitting by the pool, you're kind of chilling your vibe, and it's not like upbeat or it's not like, party song, but it is, you want to have your beer and just kind of want to dance around to it. It got that dancey feel, but it has that very mellow, vibey, kind of depressive, mission statement throughout the song. So I feel like that would have been a great third single throughout the summer. And then for the fourth single, I would have wrapped up the era. 4 singles is fine. And at that point, those songs would have been massive. You have La 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 would have been massive around the world. So you kind of have like her all over the place. And I think even throughout the era with The Voice and any award shows, she totally should have done Medicine with Blake Shelton, which I think she did do on the Country Award. So I would have kept that. That was cool. And I would have done Cut Me Deep. I don't know if I would have made it a single, but I would have done a performance of it because it's very like rocker. Like I felt like she could have gotten on the stage and really like, and it has like that dancehall reggae type of feel as well. And Magic, I think is their name, that band was really big at the time. So if they did a performance together, put on the Billboard Awards or something, and her just kind of really rocking out and really getting into it, would have been a great like, you know, promoting the song. You don't have to make it a single, but people have been like, oh, what is this song? Oh, you know, let's listen to the new Shakira album. You know, I think it's important to, even if songs aren't singles, kind of just like perform different songs from your albums, because I feel like it just promotes the whole project together. So I feel like that would have been good. You know, kind of just promote different songs throughout the album throughout the year. Especially since she had so many different platforms at the time that it would have been so fucking easy. So the official fourth single, I would have done Empire. I think Empire was great. I love that song. Again, it's very anthemic, it's very big, it's very theatrical, it's very epic. I would have totally redone the video because that video fucking sucks ass. At least Can't Remember to Forget You was gorgeous to look at. Because Joseph Kahn did it. And then I think Empire, she went back to her basic ass director that she always goes to. And that video, it was cute. It has like some nice little moments to look at, but you know, it just wasn't doing enough. And it didn't make, you know, as a fourth single, after having all those singles out that kind of gave different flavors of the album, I think it would have fared better, especially during the fall. You know, fall time, you're kind of more like in that mood. Like Empire kind of has that feel, has like a fall wintertime vibe. And I think the song is really awesome, and it would have made a great final single. So, but when the way that they did do it, why are you gonna release Can't Remember to Forget You, a rock song, and then Empire, the second single, being another rock song? Like, the girls don't even really, in America, people don't really look at Shakira as a rock singer. I think it would have been, it's cool to throw it in, and you could have obviously picked those as the singles at some point, but you just kind of mix it up a little differently. It didn't really make sense to drop them back to back when, I don't know, it just didn't really make sense to me. And then the performances of Empire that she was doing throughout the shows was, you know, she was lip syncing the chorus. It just wasn't looking really great. And there was like kind of no energy behind the performances either. The song is very big, and I didn't feel that in the performances that she gave. So I feel like as a fourth single, if she had worked on her performances for the song as well, made a big, really cool video for it, it would have been epic. So, you know, in conclusion, it would have been Chasing Shadows, 1, Can't Remember to Forget You, 2, 3, You Don't Care About Me, and then 4th would have been Empire. And I feel like that would have been a fucking massive year for her, and she would have been all over the place. And even with her getting pregnant halfway through the year, she didn't need to tour. I mean, you would have those 4 massive songs. And even if you don't like the rest of the album, at that point in time, streaming wasn't huge. So, you know, the local general public people weren't, I feel like nowadays people listen to albums in full. And, you know, back then people didn't really have access to full albums, really. So they were just really buying the singles from iTunes or just listening to what they saw on YouTube from the music videos. So nobody would have seen that, you know, the other half of the album was kind of just basic-ass Taylor Swift reject type of songs. You know what I mean? They would have just had those big 4 massive smash hits, plus La La La, boom. That would have been a huge era, bitch. And it would have, you know, and it wouldn't have even taken much effort off her part. You just had to choose better singles and just make really big music videos and call it a goddamn day. And because she was promoting a lot. I felt like she was everywhere. Like, when I'm remembering, she kind of was everywhere, but it just wasn't, she wasn't really prioritizing songs that made sense. You know, the singles weren't making sense, and I just didn't like the way she was promoting, to me. She was everywhere, but it just, you know, I think she needed a different marketing team at the time. It just didn't make sense. So that album and that whole era was very much, it was very annoying to me because I felt like she really had the world at her feet, and it could have been so massive, but the songs weren't cutting it. The singles that she chose were good, but not the way that she ordered it, in my opinion. And, you know, the era was just mismatched, flip-flop, didn't make sense to me. But, you know, I hope for her next era, she really puts her foot down the way that she deserves to, because I feel like she deserves a huge, huge era in America, and I felt like that could have been it. That really could have been it. but the stars did not align the way that we wanted it to. So y'all let me know what you guys thought of the era when it came out. I still like the era-ish, kind of. I still listen to the first 5 tracks of the album. I do not listen to like half of it, but the songs that are great, the ones that I mentioned pretty much, are fucking epic, and I love them so much. If you want to see my review on the album, I don't think my thoughts have really changed, so you can watch my review from it years ago. Y'all let me know what you guys think of the album, the era, what you guys thought of my single choices, what you guys would have done with the singles, whatever. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Fike0, and thanks for watching.